Today we are chatting about I'm gonna say my top 3 rock crawler slash rocky bank crankbait, and those are pretty simple. The biggest thing is people want to know, like, when do you use a wiggle warp, or when's the best times? And I would say really when that water starts getting below that 55-degree mark is when these things start to come into play, all the way, through the winter and all the way till they get, past the 55-degree mark. Now it gets kind of tough catching them when it gets below 50, but I would say for the most part, in between that 50 to 55 range, or when that water is in that degree range, it's hard to beat one of these, especially when you're fishing around rocky banks for smallmouth and that sort of thing. So these things are great. So I will dig into, my personal preferences on each, but I would say number one, this is going to shock a lot of people, and I'm going to go against the grain, but I absolutely love a Lucky Strike G5. These are something I found in college when I was pretty much broke and couldn't afford to buy like rock crawlers and whatnot. Dude, these things for $5.99 are insanely good. They come out of the package, they run okay. You got to tune them just a tad when you pull them out of the package, but after you tune them, dude, these things are incredible. They don't dive as deep as a rock crawler, which can be nice, especially if you're trying to target them a little shallower. Man, you can throw this thing in, 5-10 foot of water, and dude, that's a perfect range for me. I don't try to fish any deeper than that, and it keeps them from getting really bad hung up. So these things are excellent. Probably my favorite color is the one I have tied on here, and it's just it's a little translucent red. I don't know the exact color. I think it might be Phantom Brown. But man, I'm telling you, I've caught so many on this particular actual bait that I have tied on. But I kind of want to go into my rod and reel selection, which is fairly simple for this. All I'm throwing here is a Zodius 7-foot medium glass on with a Shimano Corrado 200. This is a 6:3 to 1 gear ratio. And dude, I mean, pretty simple stuff. I throw 12-pound Red Label, Seagull Red Label. And dude, that gets the job done for me. So you've seen a lot in these past, I don't know, a lot of the previous videos I've made over the winter, man. This thing is a staple as far as what I use when I'm winter fishing. And I probably throw this thing more than I throw absolutely anything else in the boat. But let's go to option 2. Option 2 is a Spro rock crawler. And man, I throw this thing a lot. What I like to do on it with it in particular, especially if you're fishing like really steep rocky banks, man, this rock crawler is hard to beat. I mean, I've caught a pile of them on it, and I really only throw really 2 colors. I throw the red bug color, and then I throw the lime and chartreuse, and I'm sure I'll have to pull a video in of catching some on it. But yeah, I mean, I basically throw 2 colors, and like I said, most time when I'm using this thing, I'm trying to get down further than that 8 to 10 foot that I would originally get with that Lucky Strike. And man, these things are pretty good. I guess the only issue for me is with them, the price. I mean, dude, you throw these things, you're gonna get hung up, and that's just bottom line of it, which sucks. You're gonna lose, but you're definitely gonna lose them, which is not fun, especially when you're losing 2 or 3 a day. You're looking at over $20 in baits you just lost. So other than that, that's a very good bait. They've been on the market for a while. Everyone knows that they're great, but just probably the second one in my tackle box. I'm gonna pick one up and throw it. And then third, I haven't thrown this one as much this year, and I'm not sure as to why, but I need to throw it a little more. This is a 6 Sense Curve 55, and the 6 Sense Curve 55, man, I don't think I have any winter catches on this thing videoed, but I will say this thing is phenomenal. It actually runs surprisingly really well. I actually bought these and just didn't really think much of it, just thought they looked good. And dude, these things actually run phenomenally well, and I've caught a few fish on them. I just haven't had any videos on them, but we will get to those eventually. But the 6 Sense Curve 55 is probably my third choice in all of that. Crankbait fishing in the winter, when you get in that 55 to 50 degree water temperature mark, is really you're looking for wind. You need a couple things to factor in to really make that bite go, and I would say number one is wind. What I've seemed to found is man, if you can find banks with wind on them, the bait typically shines in those, and that's kind of where I try to focus. I mean, you know, obviously you're fishing this thing on the main lake most of the time, but if you find a bank that you've just got the wind howling on it and it just sets up right, typically you can catch some fish doing that. And I've done that plenty over the last, you know, all those videos, all the previous videos that I have back in December that you can go watch. That's pretty much what I did. I just ran around Lake Cumberland until I found a spot with, you know, that the wind was just howling on. I just pull up in there, throw that crankbait. Most of the time we'd get a couple. So doesn't really matter if it's sunny or cloudy, as long as you have the wind, you're gonna be fine. All right, and that's gonna wrap this one up pretty much. So yeah, 3 baits. My three baits are definitely the Lucky Craft G5, Spro rock crawler, and a 6" curve 55. And those are my 3 wintertime baits. I keep it pretty simple. I don't do anything crazy. You know, I'm obviously not no pro, but I know what catches some bass in the wintertime. I haven't, you know, I wouldn't say I had the best accolades in the winter. There's definitely tons of other ways to catch them in the winter, but I am a shallow water dude, and that's what I do. I don't really go chase the deep stuff. And yeah, man, it typically works for me. I've made quite a bit of money over the winter, and so I can't really complain. So if you're in the market to buy some rock crawlers before the spring really gets here, I would definitely look at some Lucky Craft G5s. And I'm not even sponsored, man. I'm giving that away for free. So $5.99 Lucky Craft G5s. We out.